my ATAR score was actually really low. You're like, sit down. Where do you think you're going? The bell doesn't dismiss you. I do. They got the most amazing bread ever. Hi everyone. Okay, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be talking about frequently asked questions about Monash University and more specifically about my degree. I am a student of Monash University. I am in my third year of uni. I just want to get this video out there because I feel like when I was a high school student and looking into universities, I didn't find a lot on Monash University. I will say there is a lot more on their social media pages, but I was looking on YouTube and I feel like there's not a lot on YouTube. So we're gonna make one about and we're gonna post it on YouTube like one does. Okay, getting right into it. First off, let me just say I'm studying a Bachelor's of Education. I'm studying primary, secondary, and inclusive and special needs education. Let me just start by going over what subjects in high school, like in VC, did I take to make it into, well, Monash University, like primary, secondary, inclusive education. The subjects I took were English, general math. You don't need general math, but I took it anyway. I took history, legal studies, economics, and those were my 5 that I took in year 12. And then in year 10 and 11 I did VC drama, but again, you don't need that, but that was my hobby and I absolutely loved VC drama. With VC English, you have got to get a score, like a VC score of 25, okay, to get into like any education degree. Okay, I think that's the same with a lot of degrees. You got to get 25, but if you can't meet it, there are so many pathways you can do. The next question I'll be answering is, did I get into university off of my ATAR score? And like, how old was I? Did I take a gap year? So for me, I did not take a gap year. My ATAR score was actually really low because I suck at exams. Ironic, right? Because I want to be a teacher, but I suck at exams so badly that like my ATAR score was not that good. It was low and lower than Monash wanted. So Monash, for an education degree, Monash wants a 70 like ATAR minimum, and some of them go up and down. So I did get a Monash guarantee. And what is a Monash guarantee? A Monash guarantee is you can fill out some forms and Monash will send you an email being like, you got a Monash guarantee. So with the Monash guarantee, that means if you get a score of 70, you're instantly in to the education degree that you want to be in. Okay. So yeah, so I got a Monash guarantee, but I did not get the 70 score. So I had to look into pathways. Yes, that's right. I had to look into pathways. For the pathways, I did the DOE, as they call it, or the DOE, Diploma of Higher Education. And that is a mix of education students and science students. And it's a pathway to help you get into the bachelor. So it counts as your first year of university. So basically my first year was not in the bachelor, it was in the diploma of higher education. And I did that. I made some amazing friends and it felt, honestly, it just added one class and it took away a different class that I guess I didn't really need. And I was set because I did the diploma of higher education. And then after a year of doing the diploma of higher education, I got into second year of the Bachelor of Education, primary, secondary, and inclusive education. It is great. So another question is, what is primary, secondary, inclusive, and special needs education at Monash University? And what makes it different from the other universities offering inclusive education? So when I was researching different universities such as Deakin, RMIT, Victoria Uni, Melbourne University, and Monash University, I noticed that Monash didn't So Monash offered the inclusive and special needs education, so you can be a special needs teacher and an inclusive teacher, and they included it within the actual degree. So other universities, nothing against them, but other universities will like, you have to do like a master's degree, or you have to do like an elective or something, and you don't get a lot out of it. You might get a lot out of the master's degree, but master's degrees are very expensive. So like, you'd have to be sure you want to do that. And for me, the reason I did the inclusive education and special needs is because I have ADHD. As you could just see, I was like, I jumped from one topic to the next. But in primary school, the teachers did not know how to handle me. Like, I wasn't running all over the walls or anything, but I just zone out. And then I'm like, I don't know how to read the question properly because I'm jumping from thing to thing to thing. I talk a lot, so I'm talking to my friends a lot. I literally got up from my chair every day and walked over to the window while the teacher was talking. And obviously this is very difficult for teachers, and they didn't really understand how to teach me, I guess. I had one great teacher in primary school from year 2 to year 4, and she was amazing. Okay, so I did have a teacher who knew how to like help me out and all that, but a majority of the teachers, they did not know how to like educate me properly, if that makes any sense. Because I remember like I was even called I remember like there was an interview and a teacher said to my mom, your daughter will never be academically good enough. I don't want to treat students like that. What I want to do is I want to make the classroom safe for everyone to the best of my ability. So that's why I chose Monash University to help me with that. And so far, the tutors have been amazing, and I feel so confident about going into the workforce. And I'm in 3rd year, and I'm looking forward to 4th year, and especially because I have that Switzerland placement coming up. But yes, it's going to be amazing. But with these, so that's with the inclusive education degrees. So you get a lot more. It's from 1st year, right? You're learning about inclusive education. You go on special need placements where, hint hint, you do get paid for the special needs placements, or rural placements, so when you go to the countryside and teach. But compared to the mainstream schools where you don't get like paid, at least at the time of recording this video, you get to go to a special needs school, and that is it's so rewarding. You get to see how the teacher teaches like all types of students and different levels. There might be only 3 kids in the class, but each of them are at different levels, and you are trying to focus on them, and different teachers might do different things. So for my special needs placement, I was at an autistic school, and I was in a prep classroom, and I remember my mentor got me to teach some of the classes, and I was so stunned and I didn't know what to do. So then we worked on it, and I feel 10 times more confident about what to do. Like, she helped me through it, and then I taught the next class, and it was great. And I was like, okay, moving on to this bit, we're moving on to this zone, we're moving on to this one. You want to sit on the ground and do your work? You sit on the ground and do your work. Yes. You want to stand up? You stand up. You want to take a little wander? That's okay. You know, we're chill here. It's, when it comes to teaching, it's about quality over like quantity. You want to fit so much in, but even mainstream school kids can't, some students might only maintain an hour a day. And if you can get that hour a day in through that 6-hour day, if you can get that hour a day, then you're great. You're doing such a good job. And Monash University teaches you that, I find. I have been to 2 campuses at Monash University. I've been to the Clayton campus and the Peninsula campus, which is where I am right now, even though you can't really tell. Because I'm sitting in my car, I am actually at the Peninsula campus. Learning from Monash University, having the degree being 4 years instead of just, you know, your average 1 elective, because I feel like it's just so much better. I've gained a lot out of it. If you are studying just primary school, just secondary school, just primary and secondary school, Monash University does teach you within one or two units the inclusive approach, and you would have the same tutors that I have for the past 3 years, but you would just have it for that one unit, which is also good. So you're learning from inclusive educators as well. Next question is, are all of the tutors past teachers? And to that I say yes, they are, which I've done arts units and I've done education units, one art unit really, and I've noticed that the arts units tutors and lecturers teach a bit differently to my education ones. The education ones are more like relatable, and they're more on your level, and they're more, yeah, it's okay, so let's change it a bit and let's do it this way instead to see how you fit in, because they were past teachers. Whereas the arts lecturers and tutors, they're okay, like they're doing a great job as well, right? But they're very much like stern. They're like this, you got to do it this way, okay? Which again is fine, as long as you make the right friends or you contact the tutor of what you have to do, then you will be fine. But there's a lot more up for discussion in education, I find. Okay, moving on. If you are studying education, which campus will you be at? Because obviously I go to 2 campuses, the Peninsula and Clayton. Right, now here's a secret. If you are studying primary and secondary school, you will be at the Clayton campus. If you were studying early education and primary school, you will be at the Peninsula campus. If you are studying just secondary school, you will be at the Clayton campus. If you are studying primary, secondary inclusive, you will be at the Clayton campus. Now you may be wondering, but Ali, why are you at the Peninsula campus? Funny thing, Monash did not do too great of a job at advertising my degree the first year, like that they brought it back, because so the inclusive and special needs degree for education was running until like COVID hit, and then they took it away, and then they brought it back like for my year. So I was the first year to do it in like since they took it away, which I started in 2023, okay, and it hadn't run in the past for a while. So because of that, not a lot of students knew about it. There are like hundreds of students in the education degree as a whole, primary and secondary. I'm with all those kids as well. But when it comes to my inclusive education classes, there are 7 of us. 7. That is not a lot of kids. Compared to the second years and the first years, there's 30 of them at least. Like, because it's not too big of a degree, but that you get so much out of it, and you have to go early in, because I know Monash is like picky with who they let in to the inclusive education classes if there's not a lot. So like, as in if there's 30 and you want to go in and you're 31, they might be like, no, you can't do it because there's not enough kids for 2 classes or something like that. But if they had like 60, then yes, they'd make 2 classes. But because there's only 30, if you want to be that, then it's a whole thing. Okay guys, it's a whole thing. Moving on. So right, because there is not that many of us, the second years do this one class. Sorry, in first year, primary and secondary school education students in Clayton do this one unit that primary and early education students do in third year, which is this year for me, right? But so do the inclusive education kids. So the inclusive education kids do this one unit in third year as well. So instead of putting us with the first years in Clayton, they moved us all the way to the Peninsula because there wasn't enough students. I got an email and they were like, yeah, there's not enough of you. We're going to move you to the Peninsula, okay? Just for this one unit. Now, that brings us on to our next question. Ali, I live like so far away from the Peninsula, but I live really close to the Clayton campus. What do I do? Like, I don't have a car. What do I do? Like, or I go to the Caulfield campus, but I have all these classes in Clayton and the Peninsula. What do I do? Like, how do I get there? And I have no car. They have shuttle buses. Yes, they got shuttle buses. Okay, guys. So don't sweat it. Don't worry. Clayton, there's a shuttle bus that goes from Caulfield to Clayton. There's a shuttle bus that goes from Caulfield to the Peninsula, I think. Don't quote me, I have not been there, to the Caulfield campus. There is definitely a shuttle bus that goes to Clayton to the Peninsula, and vice versa. Okay, so you will not be stranded. You just got to get to Monash, any Monash campus, and like take a shuttle bus. The shuttle bus takes about an hour, whereas driving takes half an hour. I'm not completely sure why. I'm sure it's has to do with waiting for students and doing this and doing that, but like, yeah, so sometimes it might be better just to drive if you can, but if you want to save fuel, take the shuttle bus. If you live too far away and you don't want to take public transport, take the shuttle bus. Like it's like an express bus. It's owned by Monash, completely safe, and you don't have to pay extra for it. I'm pretty sure you do not have to pay extra for it because I would have taken it, but it would have clashed with one of my classes because it takes an hour instead of half an hour. You may be wondering, what is university life like? I don't know about the Peninsula. I know I said I'm here, I'm at the Peninsula, I'm like, hey, what's up? There's not a lot of people here. There's like one cafe that I've seen at the Peninsula. That's fine. Maybe there's more people. They definitely have a bookstore, but they're closed on Fridays, okay? Clayton, on the other hand, Clayton is your typical American university life, as I like to put it. If you're going to like universities for the American lifestyle, Sydney University, Monash University. I have no idea about Melbourne University, kinda, because their classes, Melbourne University makes you do like a whole arts degree and then it makes you do your major, which is like America. But Monash University, throw a frisbee, do whatever you want, you know. They got so many grass areas. They got 2 supermarkets. They have like a shopping center. It's not really a shopping center, it's more of a mall, but they have an op shop or a thrift store if you're from America, and they have sushi, I think, or they got a sushi store at least. And then they got the most amazing bread ever at the Merchant. That's one of the supermarkets. It's near the sports center. Oh, they have a sports center, guys. And then they have an arcade in the sports center. It's amazing. And then they have so many residents, and the residence is right above the supermarket. So then if you live on campus, guys, if you live on campus, just go downstairs or do a little 5-minute walk to the Merchant. Solved. You got your groceries, but I don't recommend it because it's a bit pricey. The bread though, not pricey. The bread is cheap. The bread, $1.10. Oh, for my favorite bread ever. And then they have like these little milks. Guys, I'm very simple. I love bread. I love full cream milk. They got both of that at the Merchant. They got a little version of lifelong the long lasting shelf milk or whatever that you can refrigerate, but it doesn't need to be, on the shelf, and it's like a little one. And then they got the bread, and so then I buy the bread and I buy the milk, and then I head to class, and then I eat in class. The classes are 2 hours long, okay? But that's at every uni. If you need to leave, just leave. The tutor's not going to be like, sit down, where do you think you're going? The bell doesn't dismiss you. I do. They don't do that. They don't do that, okay? I know this is meant to be like answering questions, but I'm like literally answering so many questions at once. I'm like, ooh. Like, how long is the classes? 2 hours. The class I just had was 2.5 hours though. Guys, I gotta go. I gotta go home. Oh, it's getting dark. Okay, I'll finish this when I get home. But like, basically the classes are 2 hours long. Okay, the one I just had, 2.5 hours long. Some of them are 3 hours long. You might have labs, not in education though. I think I've never had a lab. The lectures are online, okay? It might work for you, it might not work for you, but I think a lot of places are switching to online. You can put it in 2 times speed, smash it out. You could put it in like a tool to help you analyze it and understand it better, smash it out, you know, it's pretty good. You can ask the tutor questions, boom, like that. They're all very nice. I'm not even joking. If you want to go to uni, go to Monash University. I'm sorry, like, it's good. It's good. Architecture is at Caulfield. Engineering at Clayton. Education is technically at the Peninsula, but like, it depends which education you're doing. My education, primary school, secondary school, and inclusive education, that is in Clayton. I will film a day in my life in Clayton very soon, guys, because I'm very excited. But I might do a tour, and then I might do a day in my life, because I'm doing the tour not on a weekday because scary. Okay, guys, I'll be back. Okay, bye. Hi guys, I'm back. This is gonna be the outro though, because I'm home and I gotta do assignment work. Okay, one more thing. In education, you don't necessarily have exams unless your discipline has exams attached to it. My discipline does not have exams attached to it. So really, education will just be assignment work, and normally they're just 2 assignments. It might be group work, it might be individual work. And normally for education, the referencing style is APA 7. Not that anyone really asks, because I mean, you'll learn that once you're in first year. The tool I use to help me with referencing though is my bib, and it just organizes it, and it's really fast to do. Okay, if you guys have any more questions, put them down in the comments below, and I will either make a part 2 or I'll just answer them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I hope this helped a little bit in deciding whether you should go to Monash or not. Okay, bye!